Hello and a warm welcome to another edition of To The Point. On the show this week, National BJP Secretary Siddharta Nath Singh. Welcome Siddharth on To The Point. There has been enough debate on the economic fallout of demonetization, its long-term and short-term impacts. I don't want to get into that today. Is Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji's demonetization drive turning out to be some kind of a self-goal for the BJP, especially in a poll-bound state like Uttar Pradesh?
Well, certainly, I don't think it's a self-goal.
Okay.
But there's a moment in the nation which comes very rarely, and this is where the nation rises together.
Okay.
And I remember when it was 1965, when the Americans refused to give under PL 480 to India, Shastri ji as the Prime Minister made a call, and that once a week, one meal everybody has to skip. And all Indians did it. We came out of the situation, but that forced us in a revolution, which was a revolutionary step. That is, the Green Revolution came up. And that's where the Green Revolution started. Here also, Modi ji in the fight against black money has given a call, and despite the inconvenience the people are facing, we don't deny there is inconvenience, but everybody is standing in the queue. They say, no, we are with Modi ji, and we have seen the elections which have come. The civic polls which in Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Gujarat, they all have stood in the line and voted for BJP. So I don't think it's a self-goal.
You know, the normal jargon of the people with whom when we speak and in the BJP circles, they say this move has been a surgical strike on black money. But this is all on record. But when you talk to the same leaders of the record, they really say that, you know, they are jittery of the consequences it might show maybe in the upcoming polls.
Well, I don't see there will be any adverse consequences in the coming poll, because the people are with us. Now, as politicians, whenever, or let's say as a student also, when we are well prepared also and we go for exams, you are a little nervous. So similarly with the elections are around the corner, and the politicians don't know the full impact, how it's going to roll out. So they feel nervous. But when you meet the common people, those who have been inconvenienced, they are the ones who come up and they say, no, we are with you, and that adds to your strength. So I don't personally see that there is a kind of a rattle or unnerved mind of the politician, particularly in the BJP. But the nation is standing with this demonetization and with Modi ji, and that should be very encouraging.
But as and when the days are passing by, in the first week the narrative was that, you know, it's a complete washout of the black money and it's a positive sentiment, it's a fight against corruption. But as and when the time is passing by, we are seeing that, you know, the queues in the outside the ATMs, be it the plight of the farmers, the poor people, that is really, you know, becoming not very encouraging. Don't you think that that could turn the tables of BJP, the electoral prospects?
Well, again, when I said about inconvenience, they are the people who have stood in the queues. And as optics, no political party would like it, and particularly when the elections are around the corner. But those who are standing in the queue, they are the ones who are going to vote, and they are the ones who say, we are with Modi ji, we are ready to fight the black money, and it's a bold step he has taken. Let's go with it. So I think, so therefore the optics may be bad, but the result is going to be good.
Optics, of course, is bad, and the way the entire opposition is uniting on this, you've seen parties of all hues coming together against this particular demon called demonetization in their eyes. Don't you think that it could hamper the prospects, because these opposition parties will go down to the grassroots, tell the people that look how you got inconvenienced. For example, take the example of a farmer who is sitting on the earnings of his kharif crop. He doesn't have, he is not wanting to shell out money on the rabi crop.
No, I don't agree there. Firstly, if you come on the kharif and the rabi crop, the rabi crop is 8.5% higher than what was cultivated last year.
Okay.
So therefore, the rabi crop, despite whatever is being spread as a bad propaganda against demonetization, is not true. Now, as far as politics is concerned, I don't expect them to join us on whatever good we are doing. They need to criticize, but at the same time, you need to see where is the credibility of the opposition. The leaders, they need to stand with credibility, with all due respect to them. Here is a leader, Modi ji, whose credibility is all-time high. And there are other opposition leaders, their credibility is not that high, they are down. And therefore, to convince people and for the people to believe, you need a leader with credibility. And I'm sorry, the credibility, whether it's from Bengal, we all know about the chit fund scams, where it comes to Delhi, the person is always missing, and least to be spoken about the Congress there.
But is it true that most of the BJP leaders with whom we talk, obviously they will not say this on camera, but they are saying that after this step, it has certainly been one of the biggest steps, biggest political risks, I would say, which the Prime Minister has taken, and no other leader so far has taken in the history of independent India. But is the BJP not putting some kind of a bravado or some kind of a brave posturing at this moment? Because within its heart, BJP still knows that it could turn out to be an unsure battle which it is fighting for.
I don't think so. You know, the bravado is a word which is described in political jargon a number of times. But the bravado will always come from the people in this case. When you go for a big bang reform, people had always say, oh, where's Modi ji, where's the big bang reform that you have brought in? And last 6 months I said the two big bang reforms, one is the GST, the other is the demonetization. So the government is moving ahead with reforms, and you need a lot of courage and willpower to take a step like this. So the bravado is ultimately inbuilt in this if you have taken this step. And the bravado comes by the voters or by the people who are standing with this decision. So they are facing the challenge, they are facing the inconvenience, but they are showing the bravado, or they are showing that they are brave to face this challenge because it's going to be good for the country.
There are also reports coming that the BJP leadership is proactively working, as to how to improve the situation. Every day, there is a report which is being taken to the national leadership. They are recalibrating the entire movement. So there is a feel of the simmering anger within the people. So is BJP under some kind of a damage control mode?
But I don't see there is a there's no damage to be controlled. So firstly, there's no damage.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's a big reform. It's going to change the course of India, and India will be in a different league. So as a political party, as political workers, we need to be on our toes. We can't leave it just to the government and have no contribution coming from the party. And if there are the public is also contributing by facing the inconvenience and going with it with demonetization. The party needs to be on our toes. We need to go and explain to the people how to change their lifestyle, particularly become cashless. So all those things is an effort by the party to help in this drive, which is demonetization.
I was reading somewhere that the people who are lined up outside ATMs and banks, there are a lot of BJP workers who are going and serving them with tea, snacks, obviously to help them, but at the same time they are telling them through a whispering campaign that look, this is a political masterstroke by Modi ji and this is how you should project.
Well, we don't say that it's a masterstroke, but we all have been encouraged to go down wherever there have been queues and join them and help them filling their forms, because they have been standing in the queues, which was in earlier stages. Now I don't see that kind of a queue now happening, but there we used to serve tea, give them water, help them in many things, make the line more disciplined. So that's part of I think social responsibility of a political party, and I wish other political parties had also joined in doing the same. Things would have been much better.
Despite all what you're saying, and if we believe that is true, like what you spoke about the optics, if you go around the banks, if you go around the ATMs, every day when I'm traveling, I still see a lot of people who are waiting outside the ATMs to withdraw their money. Would you not, the opposition, when it says that, this is obviously they are whipping some kind of a sentiment against the government. What is the government doing, to disrupt these kind of forces?
Look, the opposition will continue whipping, and one shouldn't be too critical about them, because that's a part of their role in democracy. So let them do that. But as far as the queues are concerned, if we are moving into a cashless system, then we need to prepare ourselves also, because there is an X infrastructure which is existing in the country. You can't ramp that infrastructure overnight, and therefore the banking facilities, which is, because you're going to use your ATMs, you're going to use your credit cards, you have to withdraw. So all that time, it will take time. So there will be more usage of ATMs and the banking facilities. To that extent, there will be queues. But I personally feel that it is a matter of time. All this has already come down. It will further decrease the queue, the line that we see outside ATM. They all are going to come down further. And once the circulation starts, which is a matter of 2 to 3 weeks, once the proper circulation starts, which necessarily doesn't need to be what was on 8th of November, it will be less than that, things will be much better.
Apart from the difficulties, if you see the political narrative, the way it has changed after the demonetization announcement, BJP seems to dub all the non-BJP parties as hoarders of black money, as corrupt. Do you think that narrative is fair?
I don't. You see, that narrative in the political jargon, I would say, has been defined that those who are with the move and those who are against the move. Now, those
is it some kind of a moral binary you are hinting at, moral and amoral?
No, it's not a question of moral or amoral. I would say when you say I'm supporting demonetization, what is demonetization? It's a fight against black money.
Right.
So automatically you say you are with against black money. Those who say no, demonetization is not good, it is against. You see, try and understand, the political parties who have been opposing from day one demonetization have also changed their narrative. They went from being against demonetization, now they have said, oh, the implementation has not been right. They have understood that the public and this country is supporting demonetization. So they are changing the narrative very cleverly.
So, but does BJP admit to the fact that there has been some kind of a mismanagement failure, as what former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh has hinted at?
I don't agree there, because secrecy was the key thing. And I don't wish to quote the opposition Congress leader's name, but recently I was with him on a dinner, and he says, oh, you have done it, implemented wrongly. You should have printed 100 rupees notes and kept it with the RBI chest for 6 months back, and the day you announced, you should have rolled it out. Well, that's a crazy kind of an argument, that you can just go and print. It's like ghar ki kheti hai. You can just grow it without even discarding certain X amount of notes, and then you have to print. So that's the kind of argument. So in political explanations or attacks, when they come, accusation come, people don't understand that how the RBI works. So this is exactly what the opposition is doing, and therefore their argument falls in merit, and this is the reason they don't wish to debate in the parliament.
But how would you counter to the allegations when opposition says that, and also given the timing, it is so crucial, you have important elections like Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Manipur, Goa, all coming up and in immediate January. And when opposition says that BJP did this step to, wipe out the other parties by wiping out the cash reserves of other parties and securing its own reserves, how would you really counter that?
That explains that they were working on the black money, and where it hurts, that is exactly what it is, and the cat is out of the bag now.
But it also hints at some kind of an insider trading within the BJP.
Where is the insider trading? They accuse of a place which is Bengal, and they give the example, I am in charge for Bengal. Now, I can deposit till 30th of December X amount of money or X plus Y amount of money, as long as I am able to tell the bank, from my source. So exactly, whether I deposit on the 8th morning or I deposit on the 8th December, or let me say 28th of December, how does it change? You can continue depositing. So again, their argument is, sensationalizing it, but at the end of the day, it lacks merit.
But somewhere it may be lacking merit for BJP, but when they go down to the people and they say that the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has asked all his MPs and MLAs to give details of the transactions done between 8th November and 31st December, they would naturally say that it's a kind of a political gimmick. Why only during this period? Why did he not ask for transactions before?
Well, it's the period where if you have been hoarding black money, you will deposit in large numbers. So this is the period 8th November, 31st December. It's not rocket science. So you will come to know that you were hoarding black money, and therefore transparency is must. And if the BJP doesn't start within their own family, you cannot ask others to do the same. So we have gone with the transparency, and the Prime Minister has rightly asked the BJP MLAs and MPs to make the details available to the party president Amit Shah ji. So it's a bold step, right step, and a transparent step.
What about things like electoral reform? Like former Chief Election Commissioner S.Y. Qureshi very rightly said that demonetization will have its own impact in the coming elections in some way or the other, but the steps are not enough. You need to do more. So the time is ripe. You have built the objectivity around this narrative of demonetization. Why doesn't the government start talking seriously about the electoral reforms?
Well, I think the Prime Minister is quite serious. He has already hinted about it. He has already said there should be debate on electoral reform. To that extent, he has said one is of holding the Assembly and the Lok Sabha together. He says, I don't know where the decision would be, but it's important that we as a nation debate, and whatever decision is, then it becomes binding for all of us. And similarly, he has said about the electoral reforms, which is regarding the funding to the political parties. So all this has been spoken by the Prime Minister himself. And I can also share within the party we have been there's a committee which is working on it. One of our general secretaries is working on it, and we have gone quite far in our opinion how the electoral reforms in this country should come, so that the nexus between you can say the business, the political party, and the bureaucrats, that is broken, and there is a more transparent way of how the funding goes about. And let me also add here, with the kind of black money bill that has been brought, that you cannot further generate, and this demonetization, if those industries or those trading houses from where the political system was being funded, if they cannot generate, because of the black money bill already introduced and passed in the parliament,
right.
So how will they give? They will say, if you want, take a check from us. So already there is a step of bringing transparency in political funding.
But how is it really going to happen in the elections? I would like to understand from you. When a political party, say for example BJP or BSP, holds a rally, we also know that it's an open secret that all the people who are coming, they are paid. There are a lot of cadres also who voluntarily join in. Are we going to see the political parties giving them checks, say a 500 rupee check?
There has been a status quo which we have been seeing, and you've spoken about the political rallies. I don't know, I'll not speak about the UP as such, but I just held a very large rally of Kisan rally in Andhra Pradesh, where our party president was there. That was on 26th of November, that's after demonetization. And it was a huge mega, almost 1 lakh people were there. And let me be honest, I didn't see anything that we had to pay cash. Firstly, there was no cash available, so we had to do it, and we paid everything through check, through banking transaction. But the rally was successful, there was no cash paid. So things do change if there is a will to do that. And I think there is a will, at least in the BJP, to make this change happen, successfully happen, because the driving force, that is the party president and the Prime Minister, is very strong for making this change to happen.
Now when UP elections and Punjab elections, for example, are we going to see the campaign funding and everything open on the record books? Is it going to be some kind of a clean system? We'll see white money transactions happening in the rallies?
I think it will be more transparent than it used to be.
Okay.
And still there is electoral reforms which needs to be brought in. And that is for the Election Commission to take it forward. But I would say largely this election is going to see a very transparent political funding which will happen.
Is it a political stunt as well when Mayawati cries hoarse and we see that BJP is in a tight contest with a party like BSP?
But let me, this question has been asked to us number of times. But on one hand, the political parties say, that it is a
and
timing.
let's say that Mayawati is feeling so helpless that she can't even cry her heart out.
Well, that's why I'm saying. One, they say that it is to corner political party, particularly looking at UP, the Samajwadi Party and Mayawati, because they work on black money or unaccounted money, I would say. And so BJP has cornered them with this kind of a move. And on the other hand, we are accused, or we are said, oh, this is something which is going to be, it's a self goal. Now both can't work the same time. Now if it is a self goal, and let's say these are important elections, which political party will have the courage to go ahead and do a kind of a testing just before the elections, and particularly election like UP to be held, and say, oh, let's try and let it be a test balloon and see how we work out? I don't think anybody, when your going is good, particularly when the country supported and they appreciated what happened on the LOC, that was a surgical strike. We had built that momentum. There was something in favor of BJP, and particularly the Prime Minister's credibility and the popularity kept on going up. So you don't go with it, a kind of something which is on demonetization if it is a self goal. I think another narrative is that, oh, you have damaged your core voters. We always feel that we have many, there's no core voter.
The traders and the businessmen who voted the party.
We don't have the core voter, but generally it's term, ye to unki party hai. But if again that be true, then which political party will go before the election and say, oh, you're my voters, I'm going to damage and harm you the first.
So
What it is the Prime Minister has taken a call which is in the national interest and not based on appeasement. And that is something which speaks about the intent of the person who's sitting on the chair.
This certainly, Siddharth, has been the biggest political risk which the Prime Minister has taken. But this could be the biggest pitfall also for him. I mean, his measure of success or his measure of failure would be immense with this step. So is the party really prepared even for the slightest debacle on demonetization if it could face in the coming elections?
I personally and the party certainly feels this is a great step, and the way our ideology has been built up, and particularly I will say under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi ji, if something is good for the nation, it will ultimately be good for the party, and that's the way we are going about in taking many decisions. So I think that's the decision he has taken, which we feel convincingly we feel it's good for the nation, it's in the national interest, and therefore if it's in the interest of the nation, it will be definitely good for the
Even
BJP.
the opposition appreciates BJP for the simple fact that you've been successful in building a right momentum. Surgical strike, demonetization, nationalism, you've got all the issues on the tips with which you can go very positively to the people. Are we going to see the coming elections where a party like BJP will not talk at all about caste, subcaste? What are the issues with which now you will go to the people?
I think the issue, particularly when we look at this coming elections, has certainly become corruption and the black money is a very important issue.
तो जिसने demonetization को support नहीं किया वो गद्दार है, वो बेईमान है. That is the narrative.
That's for the public to think about it.
At least you have built that narrative.
What will be important for us is, there are many things, the issues will come. It cannot be built on one issue or two issues, any elections. But during 2014 elections, we had said primarily two things. We will fight black money and corruption.
Okay.
We brought in SIT within our first cabinet meeting against black money, which was pending since 2011 under the Supreme Court direction, but the UPA government never did it. And we took number of steps after that, and then this is the demonetization. So we have delivered what we had said, and we'll continue delivering the fight against black money and corruption. Second is, we had said we will not spare Pakistan if they are too adventurous. And I think that crossing the LOC and surgical strike has again proven. So they will be the political issues during the election.
So
because we had said in 2014, if we have delivered it, we must speak about it.
So which means you will go to the people of various states with the nationalistic issues, right? Nationalism, corruption, black money, surgical strike. So these are all national issues. Yeah. But what about the state-specific issues? How far will they figure in the scheme of things?
I think people should be appreciating us that we are going on a nationalistic issues and not on the caste or the religious issues.
Okay.
So that's the difference. So they should be criticized who want to base.
That's a change in strategy.
That's
a
not
complete change in
but
strategy.
That's a change that's not change. That's part of our ideology. We have always said the nationalist issues are important.
Okay.
You must take it forward. And let me be honest, BJP doesn't stand on caste and religious issues. We are a party which is of ideology of serving and delivering. And we want to take the nation together. That's why we say Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas.
But
and at the end of the day, that's the victory lies if you have everybody together.
So if you talk about the larger battle, my last question to you before we wind up the show, the larger battle of 2019, is it going to be BJP versus the rest of the political spectrum? Are we going to see some kind of a political formulation emerging for 2019?
I personally feel that, in politics, a week is a big period.
Too long a time.
Too long, okay. So, we are talking 2019. But my personal belief is that this 2017 elections will define many things. A lot of political parties who are regional parties, they have been part of BJP and or the erstwhile NDA, will be forced to rethink that where they stand. And I see the NDA growing and the non-NDA shrinking further.
It also could be a make or break for BJP.
I don't think it's a make or break for BJP. We have decided the course. We are very clear. We are sticking with our nationalistic approach. We are sticking what is good for the nation, and I think it will serve us.
We'll see how the voters respond. Thank you so much, Siddharth, for coming on the program. So that's it on this episode of To The Point. See you next time with another personality. Goodbye and thanks for watching.